Is religion going away? Like, what does the future hold for religion? I think if we were to take a poll in here, I have a feeling where most of us would lean, possibly. I think the general assumption is that religion is really something of the past. It's really going away. But the question is that true? There was a major study done recently in the past couple of years by the Pew Research Society, who then the Washington Post collected their data and wrote this article titled, "The World is Expected to Become More Religious, Not Less." And while the article acknowledges that in the United States and Europe, the percentage of people without religious affiliations for the time has been narrowing, has been in decline, but the article seems to suggest, based on the data that they found and the trends that are coming, that religion will steadily and grow more strong in the coming years than it's ever been before. That's amazing. Jack Goldstone, a professor at George Mason University, said this. He said that sociologists jumped the gun when they said religion is going by the wayside with the growth of modern civilization. He said instead of a world producing unbelief, that's not what we're seeing. In fact, the opposite is what we're seeing. We're seeing that people, more than ever, and will more than ever, need religion. Those are astonishing statistics. Those are I never in my wildest expectations would have guessed that they went that way at all. And so the question really becomes, if religion is not going away, well, what religion is here to stay? Because, think about it. There's just so many plethora of different varieties of philosophies and religions on the horizon. Really, it's the smorgasbord of kind of whatever you want. But is there one that stands out amongst the rest? Some people will say, no, there can't be one that stands out amongst the rest. Aren't they all generally the same thing? Aren't they all generally teaching the same thing? Which I have an affinity for that. I understand what's trying to be said there. But the reality is, to say that just proves that you really haven't looked at what all the religions teach. Because while there may be connecting points through various religions, they're just not the same. So they can't all be the same, but at the same time, what about the opposite? Maybe none of them are true. Well, I think we can dismiss that after looking at just some of these statistics. If it just was so obvious that all religions are false, why are the experts saying religion's about to hit a boom like never seen before? I don't know if those things adequately line up. But here's what's so interesting, and this is where Christianity, I think, becomes a front runner, because it gives a third option. It says this: yes, religion is true. In fact, this religion is true. And it claims to be exclusive. But here's the crazy thing. It also, within its system, teaches us how to interact with people who believe different religions. And I may even go as far to say to value certain things in other religions, while still maintaining the Christian religion. It's absolutely unbelievable, the strength of this front runner of a religion. But I also understand this. It's unfair for me just to assert that. You feel me? Like, yeah, you're a Christian pastor. Obviously, Christianity is the front runner, right? Let's get a Muslim guy up there. Or let's get, a Buddhist up there. Let's see what they say, right? So it's not fair, and I recognize it's not fair for me just to assert that, right? And this is why the rest of this passage is so exciting. Because Jesus has been dealing with, if you remember, he heals this guy, and the result of the people around him, they decide this guy is claiming to be God. He's claiming to be equal with God the Father, therefore he must die. And we said Jesus is too complex a character for that just simple assertion and solution. And so he begins to explain, and as he explains, it's like, wow, this is really good. But then on top of that, this is almost the gravy on top, this section, because he's already said a lot of things about himself, but now he's about to say, look, it's not just me saying these things. There are witnesses that are confirming everything that I'm saying. So while it's not fair for us just to say Christianity is right because Christianity is right, Jesus is trustworthy just because Jesus is trustworthy. The beautiful thing is we don't have to say that. We can say Jesus is trustworthy, and here are 4 witnesses that agree to that. Let me show you what I mean. Who are these witnesses? Well, he goes through kind of 4 different people. All right, excuse me, four different witnesses. The first one we see in verse 33. He says, you sent John, and he has borne witness to the truth. So the first witness outside of Jesus that's saying Jesus really is who he